You know, it's funny going back to these older exhibits when you know the truth, when you've seen the proof of things that they've tried to claim were supposed to be considered evidence in this case. The car is one of the most important things. And for the majority of you guys, you already know the truth when it comes to the vehicle and the identification and where everything ended up. But for the rest of you, let me show you what they were going to at least attempt to try to say, and then I'll show you the truth.
Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims. That's false. For anybody who had never heard that before, that question is now planted into them, unqualified representation that Mr. Kohberger stalked one of the witnesses, and that's false. We do not have evidence that the defendant had direct contact with 1122 or with residents of 1122. But we can put his phone in that area. There are many residences in that area. It's a dense population of mostly college-related occupants.
Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey guys, this is Jules at True Crime Reactions. This is going to be exhibit number 8 of all of those exhibits that became unsealed about a week or so ago in the Idaho 4 case. Let's just go ahead and literally jump right into it because we are trying to just get these done. Now, this again is exhibit number 8. This is from an FBI special agent that they are not giving us the name of. Now, we know from other documentation that there was an agent Imel that did the car ID information. We have emails between them and the other investigators in the case discussing exactly where they got the identification information from in way of all of the security footage. And I'll be going over that, like I mentioned, towards the ends of the video, just to sort of summarize exactly where everything went and where it landed, which is just so shocking to me because I feel like Ann Taylor should have made this one of her big fights. And I don't feel like she did. I don't know if this was like specifically addressed in the way that I feel like it should have. Maybe it would have been if we would have actually gone to trial, because this right here in itself is such a big deal. This says, on January 16th, 2025, defense filed an expert disclosure for Stephen Becker regarding digital forensics and vehicle identification. In response to Becker's technical report dated January 23rd, 2024, the state intends to introduce the following anticipated factual testimony from FBI Special Agent Blank. I don't know if this is Imel or someone else. Blank will testify regarding the defense claims that investigators were not able to determine if there was or was not a front license plate on the suspect vehicle, identified as a 2011 to 2016 white Hyundai Elantra, hereafter referred to as Vehicle 1, on collected video surveillance in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. In addition, Blank will testify to the investigative significance of Vehicle 1 not having a front license plate. See, that's the fight that they played with the entire time. And when you get to the actual facts, now that we have photographs of Bryan Kohberger's vehicle and all of these other documents that came out, I don't understand why this is the one she chose to have. Blank will testify he has reviewed surveillance footage in order to determine which, if any, video clips showed whether or not Vehicle 1 was displaying a front license plate in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. In reviewing the surveillance footage, Blank located video clips. I'm guessing it's Imel because it's real tiny. And Imel is only IMEL, so it's probably him. I don't know why they would have him blocked out, though. His name has been out there for like years at this point. Anyway, Blank located video clips which showed a clear view of the front bumper of Vehicle 1, and in doing so, showed that there did not appear to be a front license plate attached to the vehicle. Keep that in mind. A clear view of the front bumper. Keep that part in mind. The below is only a summary of the collected video surveillance showing no license plate and is not intended to be an all-encompassing disclosure of the entirety of the collected video showing Vehicle 1. A summary video of Vehicle 1 has been previously disclosed. The below noted camera locations were checked for their timestamp accuracy as compared to actual current time as noted below. at 1311 South Main Street at 3:27 and 46 a.m. The camera time approximately 1 minute 43 seconds behind local time. A vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 is seen traveling westbound on Steiner Avenue, crossing Main Street and continuing westbound onto Lauder Avenue. The vehicle does not appear to have a front license plate attached. At 1455 Southeast Bishop Boulevard in Pullman, Washington at 5:25:30 a.m. Now, before I continue this, I just want to remind you guys that when it came to the information about the white car leaving Pullman and actually going to Moscow that they were going to have for trial, they ended up removing all of those timestamps. They ended up removing all of that camera footage. They ended up removing all of that data. And what they started with the information that was actually submitted for trial use, if we would have gotten there, it started right there in Moscow in the Indian Hills area on the opposite side of 95. They just poofed SV1 already in Moscow. But we're still planning on using the information they got from that at the trial against Kohberger, even though they were, again, now removing the white car, technically leaving Pullman, that they want us to believe was Kohberger, driving past Floyd's, and then getting to Moscow. It's been completely removed. So what would they have actually told the jury? What would the story have been if one of the questions would have been, well, how do you know that it was him if you're starting the suspect's vehicle already in town, but you're wanting us to believe that he left his apartment? Where's the proof that he actually left the area? What would they have done? Because that's my same question when it comes to this 9 to 9:30 situation. We have gone through the footage. There is nothing that shows that he was back in the area as they've tried to put it. The vehicle that they show that passes in front of that little gas station is a small little white car. You can't really tell what kind of car it is. You can't see anything. And again, this is broad daylight. They're claiming that he's on this Highway 95, that he's left WSU. Where's the footage for that? Where's the daytime camera footage that shows him and his vehicle actually leaving Pullman? We've seen the kind of cameras that they have, the traffic cams that actually captured some of this stuff. I've posted some of it myself. I have more of it that I haven't been able to post because we've gotten so much more other information. Plus, it's become irrelevant. And we know why. Because when we got that footage and started looking over it, we realized that that car had what? Had fog lights. So keep that portion of information in mind for the end of this. But for the 5:25 and 30-second a.m. car coming back into Pullman, Washington, according to their reports, camera time approximately 7 seconds behind local time. This time is approximate, determined by time comparison with other cameras at the same business due to frame glitches in the surveillance footage. A vehicle matching the description of Vehicle 1 is seen turning from northbound Johnson Avenue onto northbound Bishop Boulevard and continues northbound. The vehicle does not appear to have a front license plate attached. Then this is Stadium Way to Nevada in Pullman. This is basically just them claiming the direction the white car came back into Pullman before then going to the apartments where Bryan Kohberger lived at the time. We have Nevada, and then they go from Stadium Way to Grimes, and then Stadium Way to Wilson. This is a lot of the camera footage that I have. It's like 4.5-ish or so hours long, and there's like 3 of them from the 3 different angles. And then there's another one at a different angle that's around the same time frame, but it's only like a smaller section. It's just really, really big. It's a really, really big file that I would have to put all together. It's been sitting there for some months now. But the entire point that they're trying to make with this is that the vehicle does not appear to have a front license plate attached to it. And again, with the information that I'm about to show you, I don't understand why that's the fight that they chose to have. It doesn't make any actual sense. Now, this is the portion that I want to show you. In this piece from the motion and limine fight from back in March of 2025, this is the state's response to the defendant's information that they filed for the make and model of SV1, the information that was going to be going back and forth. Now, as you can see right here, we have Imel that we've heard of a million times, but then we also have Healy, I don't know how you say his name, that also worked on this. But when it comes to the very specific information regarding how they used fog lights in order to be able to narrow down the vehicle year, That came from IML, which again is a name that we have heard for years now. So I'm going to just assume that that's the one that they're also using in what we just read. And I don't know why they have him redacted, but anyway. When it comes to what specifically they used to help them figure out the actual year that they were looking for, keep in mind, this was not the first set of information that was put out there. The police got a completely different bolo back on like November 27th than the public got in December. So keep that in mind. And again, if you've been here for a while, you've seen those videos. But let's read what they placed in here as the specific information that helped them narrow down what we were apparently supposed to be looking for. The questioned vehicle shares similar class characteristics with a fifth-generation Hyundai Elantra between 2014 and 2016. The similar class characteristics include, but are not limited to, the overall body style, window configuration, front grille configuration, headlight shape, side trim, rear brake light configuration, rear license plate position, and rear bumper position. The position of the rear bumper reflector, and here it is, the shape of the fog lights assisted in narrowing the vehicle year span. Well, you know why that's some shit that don't make sense. And again, if you've been here, you already know. This is page number 359 of 382 from photographs that were released from the Idaho State Police. These are right now available to the public for free in the link down in the description box to all of the official sources. It's in every description box of every video for you to be able to go and grab and look at these things yourself. This is Kohberger's Hyundai Elantra. And you know what his Hyundai Elantra doesn't have? It doesn't have fog lights. It does not have fog lights. When they sit here and they say that the shape of the fog light assisted in narrowing down the vehicle that was being used for the vehicle on 1112 King Road surveillance, that they used as Bryan Kohberger's vehicle, that they placed as SV1, that they tried to use to put him very specifically there, even though at sentencing they had to admit they actually could not do just that.
We do not have evidence that the defendant had direct contact with 1122 or with residents of 1122, but we can put his phone in that area. There are many residences in that area. It's a dense population of mostly college-related occupants.
So why was the license plate the fight that Ann Taylor was choosing to fight? Why was it not, you said the fog lights helped you decide exactly what vehicle needed to be looked for, and my client's vehicle does not have fog lights? Why are we arguing about the license plate? I mean, both are important. But the fog lights, to me, considering that it's literally used in this, and there's nothing about front license plate even mentioned in this report. As you can see, it only mentions rear license plate position. It doesn't talk about the fact anything in the front plate was actually looked for. They used that little tidbit of information after they had Kohberger's name from the FBI. Originally, none of that mattered. So why, again, did Ann Taylor not fight more when it came to the fog lights and chose to fight the license plate? Were they saving the fog lights for trial as like a kind of up my sleeve thing, even though it's pretty obvious now that we actually have all the documentation? I mean, I don't know. But that is it for exhibit number 8. Now, the next one also has to do with vehicle identification. It's going to have a graph of some other vehicles that they were maybe looking at on it as well. But I wanted to do these separately so that we can take it all in. But let me know what you guys are thinking about all this down in the comments. And again, I do know that for a lot of you guys, this was not new information. Before probably a big percentage of you, it might have been. There's always so much that comes out in this case. It's hard to be able to absorb everything, but this information about the fog lights and the car on the cameras coming out of Pullman into Moscow not matching Bryan Kohberger's car, that's been out for a while. Even a lot of the guilters, hardcore ones, have had to come out and admit Yeah, that's not his car. Crazy, right? But again, let me know what you guys are thinking about all of this down in the comments. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on the way out, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already, and please don't forget to make sure that the notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives. See y'all.